What is going on, you guys? I hope you guys are having a great day, and I want to welcome you guys to my first ever Disturbing Book Iceberg video. Now, this is a concept that's been explored on YouTube quite a bit of times, and I wanted to take it a little bit of a step further, and I discovered an iceberg full of disturbing books from a Reddit user, kTheButcherShitter, which I will put his name probably down here if I can. And this is an iceberg that has been discussed in previous videos before, but what I'm going to be doing different with this video is I'm going to be actually doing individual reviews of each book on the iceberg, and we'll go down from the tiers. Like the first tier is like Normie book reader, and the last tier is like utterly insane, which are books that you don't really typically find on the usual market. And so this video is supposed to be doing like an independent review of the first book on the iceberg. Now, the first tier of this iceberg is called Normie Book Reader, and these are books that, while they do have controversial content within them, or they explore it, they don't go too far with it, and you can easily get away with reading these. So that's really what this video is about. And I want to let you guys know that the iceberg, which I'm going to try to put a picture right here, from what you guys can see on the iceberg, there are 8 tiers total. And the thing is, I can only read down to tier 6, because tier 7 and 8, if you look up these if you look up this material, there's either no copies of these that exist in English, meaning they're only in Spanish or Latin or whatever, or there's only one copy in existence and you can't read it anyway. Like in tier 8, it says the Codex Gigas. You can't read that. It's only one copy, and it's like in the Vatican somewhere, I think. I'm not entirely sure. But guys, I hope you guys enjoy me doing this review series, because I'm going to be doing this. I'm only going to review a handful of books from each tier, because if I reviewed every book on the iceberg, I would be here for probably 2 years or something like that, and I don't want to go that long with a review series. So I'll be reviewing a couple of books per like every couple of, every like week or a couple days or something like that. We'll see, because I've already finished most of the books on the first tier anyway, so I'll be reading these over time. And so guys, thank you very much, and let's get started with the first book on this iceberg, A Head Full of Ghosts. This book is kind of a modern take on The Exorcist and a little bit of a haunted house story. The basic plot is that it's supposedly narrated by a girl whose sister and family were being haunted by malevolent spirits in the house, and they decide that they're going to hire not only a priest to perform an exorcism, but also a television documentary crew to record the event and hopefully gain this family a little bit of publicity, as well as some explanation to why they're having these events. And I have to give credit where credit is due, and for Paul Tremblay, the author of this book, he did a fantastic job at showing us the sister dynamic between the two main characters. Because like you'll have these sisters, they'll constantly play fort together, they will make up stories to each other, and it's very nice to see that, because I truly felt like I was reading about 2 little girls and not just someone who created 2 people. So it felt like I was reading about 2 real people, and I really like that about the story. And there are even moments in the book when it gets a little freaky, to where like one girl will mention to her sister that, oh yeah, I actually watch you sleep at night sometimes. And I'm like, that's not creepy at all. It's like, and it's kind of a weird thing to say, but all I can say is that that's one thing that the author did so well that I think pays off the most, because he really did a good job at capturing the tension and the horrors of not only this house being haunted, but also how the sister herself could be haunted. So this is kind of like The Exorcist mixed with Insidious in a way, except I do think both those movies are scarier than this book. But either way, it's a very good story overall. And I do think that the father character is a little bit underdeveloped, although there are moments where he does shine very well, like while he decides he wants to go to church, and I think he gets laid off from his job or something, and he decides that he wants to do better with his family. And I really buy into that, because a father will do anything to protect his kids and to make his wife happy. So that's one thing that I think they did really well with this character that I do really like. Another thing about this story is that I do think the documentary crew was very well humanized throughout the story, because these are people who could have easily been watered down, or they could have been very bland in the story. And I really like what the author did with them, because you actually get some humanistic points throughout the story to where the characters are interacting with these people in the documentary crew, and it's actually kind of nice to see it. Like, I was very interested to see what these people had to offer. Like, they were saying, oh yeah, you can have this little camera you put on your nightstand, and you can see if we can capture some things on your in your bedroom while you're sleeping, so we'll do this for you. And I was very engaged with that part of the story overall, and I did like that idea. So I'm really glad they humanized the documentary crew, because they could have easily been forgotten about by the time I finished reading the story. Now, as much as I can praise this book, there are certain things that will bother some people throughout the story. Do not read this book expecting an exorcism book of like 200 pages, because the exorcism doesn't happen until like the final 60 pages of the book. And it's not, and because the book is not about the exorcism, it's about the family dynamic, and it's about these two sisters slowly falling apart as their house is being haunted by spirits. And so that's kind of a mixed aspect, and it's kind of like a for your information sort of thing. It's not really like a thing that bothered me, because I wasn't expecting it either. But the author did such a great job at capturing the sister dynamic between these two girls that I actually found myself engaged and very into the story overall the more that I read it. So yeah, but one negative that I do have with this story, and this might not be a negative for everybody, but it was for me. I personally think that when the author chose to give us pages of like the script for this documentary that's happening, or for like this TV show that they're planning on doing with these two, with this family, I honestly believe that when you have the script written out, because it would have been better if the characters just talked about it, but you actually get pages of like the script written out for you. And to be honest, that's where the story kind of lost me, and I was like, okay, I'm not really into this. Get back to the family again. Don't just have us read a script that you wrote. And some people may not be bothered by that, but I wasn't fully into it. So you guys, overall, I'm gonna give A Head Full of Ghosts a score of 4 out of 5. I think it's a really well done haunted house story slash exorcism story. I don't know why I said movie, but anyway, I would highly recommend you guys check this out. Thank you very much for watching the first video in my Disturbing Book Iceberg series. Look forward to my next review, which will be for this book, Flowers for Algernon. This will be the next book I'll be reading in the near future. So guys, thank you very much as always for watching my videos, and I will be posting more movie reviews pretty soon, because I have seen a lot of movies over the last couple of weeks that I have not gotten a chance to review because I've been working a lot. But guys, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys later.